Put this music down. I can't even think. Well, today's the day. Today's the day. And what day that might be? That day is, man, my mic works. Holy shit. I think I've been battling this thing, well, battling it, you know. I've been battling it for a while now. Recording-wise, that is. It's just one of those things, you know, you get to experience a ride and know that you're actually recording, and also get to talk over this shit, you know. Well, man, I've been trying this for like, I want to say about 4 months. You know, I was actually in Washington, Seattle area before, but I am super happy, super freaking blessed to actually be out here too finally, and really just trying to enjoy this shit, you know. Get to I don't know, really put some miles on the bike too as well. Let's see, I got a little errand to do right now, but I'm trying to make sure I'm not lost here. But you know what? It's one of those days where you just want to get the ride in, you know. So yeah, well, maybe move back to San Diego, right? Well, I never lived in San Diego before. I actually lived in the Riverside area. It's really beautiful out there, but that's actually where I got my endorsement to ride and shit too. So luckily for me, took it out to Washington, kept it out today, came back to California, had to pay for the shit, take the exam, fumble on a few questions, but you know, who doesn't on a few questions and shit unless you're like fresh out of that class. But you know what, I'm just glad to be over with it now. I got a little paper ID and shit, and tell you what, it's time to use that thing, you know. Time to put some miles on the bike. It's a badass fucking Mustang. But yeah, I just really kind of enjoy the shit, listen to a little bit of music. I mean, my vibe might actually change here and there, just depending on the music right now, but I'll try to make sure it's not too crazy. Alright, be right back. Welcome back. So I had a little errand to run, and you know what? I hate moving. I hate losing shit. I'm trying to do a little treasure hunt. You got one thing that you want to grab, you got another thing you want to grab, and you just can't find any of this shit. But yeah, it's a sunny day in San Diego. Some locals will probably say it's pretty chilly, but man, it feels delicious. Blue skies, just incredible weather. I don't know, I can't complain. I'm just bullshitting right now, I'm just going for a little cruise, you know. I'll go this way. But yeah, I don't know, just going around. Just want to kind of loosen up the joints and shit, you know, just kind of kick my legs out to the ride. But I don't know, after jumping into a storage unit, you're just kind of like a zap of energy kind of deal, you know. Not that I'm like, oh no, I should be on my motorcycle, but I'm just kind of like bummed out in a bit because all the crap I should have just pulled out of there, I didn't. But that's my fault. But anywho, oh, I'm just gonna let it cruise around, enjoy this weather. But yeah, today I had to take my you know, my little motorcycle exam all over again, and my car exam, all because California's like, oh, you're back in Washington, huh? Well, there you go, here's a little exam for you. I passed it. I will say I missed a couple of funny questions, but that's California for you. The car one I actually did pretty well on. I had to worry about that. But yeah, that's some pretty funny questions on it, man. Anywho, so I am on the Stallion here. I don't call it the Stallion, I call it Hydra. This is Hydra right here. She's a 2016 FXDLS. Little upgrades is that basically she just has exhaust, man. A couple little accessories here and there. You know, the bars, obviously, the fairing. But thing has got to be the freaking the bars, you know, that and then the exhaust. Exhaust is pretty nice. Well, so maybe not that long ago, I was just trying to make a little video. You know, my wife and I went for a ride. Went to Oceanside. Tried to do some funny shit. Go out there and check out the Oceanside house. You know, from Top Gun. I don't know, a lot of people know that and shit, but you know, the Top Gun house is over there in Oceanside, and they actually let it go to shit a while ago, and you know, I guess when they realized they wanted to make that movie, they you know, revamped it. But little to my knowledge, I didn't know that they had moved it too. So we went out there thinking like, oh, we're going there, blah blah blah. You know, threw in the GPS, and it even said like Top Gun house, all this stuff. So I was kind of like, you know, pretty stoked because it was a chill little ride. You know, we're going out there. It's pretty like, I don't know. It's not a mission to get out there, but it's something to do, you know. But yeah, it was exciting. Got out there, did a little bit of lane splitting. I know I didn't appreciate it at the time because it was just kind of slapped in our face, but it is what it is. You know, there's a lot of traffic. Nobody wants a lane split in traffic unless, you know, you're really trying to get somewhere too. But, you know, I was just cruising, just chilling, not too worried about shit. I just want to try to avoid all this traffic so I'm gonna get off. But anywho, you know, got out there. We're pulling up. We're riding on the 101 for a little bit, and then, you know, a couple lights here and there. We're chilling, coming up, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's like, here comes the destination, and it's just fucking construction. Fucking construction. Fucking Top Gun house is gone. You know, I'm pretty like, I gotta say I was pretty shocked. I was like, oh damn. Well, I didn't think that shit was going anywhere, but I don't know. So it turns out they actually picked it up. They tried to preserve it a bit, you know. And of course, you know, ripping it out of the ground isn't really preserving shit, but did the best they could. It looks pretty good. I haven't seen it in person yet, but you know, gotta find that spot and go check it out too. So that's another mission, you know. Well, not a mission. That's another time. I'm not going there today. I don't think I have enough time to make it out there and back before I hit traffic and shit. But I don't feel like going through traffic, you know. But yeah, just enjoying the ride and just kind of cruising around. Been wanting to make some videos, you know. It's just been waiting on this stupid mic. Oh, by the way, I'm using like a Rode mic, Australian brand. But anywho, I guess a little bit of a background on the whole motorcycle scene and what made me want to get into, I guess, motovlogging. Well, prior service, did a little bit of Navy time and some Air Force time. I know some people are probably confused about that. Like, how does that work? Well, we join the service. Just like any service, you just join the service, you know. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Overall, you know, I'm just kind of I guess you could say a civilian cat now. So I'm not too military, you know, haircut, all that good shit. You know, I'm not worried about that. But let's see if I can squeeze in here. Yeah, I can. Not too bad. Gracias. So yeah, started riding. Let's see. Started riding. I guess let's say started riding as in I got my motorcycle in 2017, and that was a Sportster 48. Oh, watch out, buddies. And you know what? I love my 48 and stuff, but fuck, underpowered. Not for cruising. You know, it is definitely the little bar hopper and stuff like that, but affordability is kind of there, you know, especially the power and stuff like that for what it was. Went for it, outgrew it, and then decided to wait, you know, and just put some miles on that bike. And just waited to figure out what I was gonna ride next. So I don't know. So I went for the lowrider, you know. It just kind of stood out. It wasn't a bagger, it wasn't a Sportster, but you know, I feel like a dodo, you know, not really, I don't know, doing my homework and the research and stuff like that, and kind of kicked myself a bit, and then you know, had to make it right. So landed on this bad boy. I think it was in Tacoma, Harley Davidson dealership out there. They posted it up. It was between this one and another one that was in an Emerald Harley Davidson. But unfortunately, by the time I got there, they were actually they had already sold it. I think by a few days. And that one, it was actually pretty set up. You know, it'd have been perfect to not have to like buy this out myself and have to, you know, go through the trouble and selling it myself. But you know, at the end of the day, it's your bike, and you make it yours. So yeah, you know, I got the bags and stuff like that. You know, little accessories here and there and shit. And yeah, made it mine. Rode it for a little bit in Washington. Then the weather kicked in, and I was just like, yeah, fuck that. And I kind of hated it. Didn't want to like be so damn cold and stuff. Hit the rain once or twice and here and there, and it's just kind of like, you know, it's not enjoyable. Plus, people in Washington kind of suck driving in the rain and shit, so I just want to be seen, don't want to be hurt. Mistakes happen and shit too, so on the weather permits, you know, I'd rather be in some sunshine and just enjoy this shit, you know. But right now, you know, moved back to SoCal, born and raised, and you know, never really thought about riding before, and just jumped into it, started riding. I actually got my like motorcycle endorsement with a buddy of mine. Oh, that was a FXDLS. That's pretty what's up. Anyways, yeah, I got my endorsement with a buddy of mine, and did the whole Harley thing. Got hooked up with the military for free. We just put down like $100, and then you know, knocked out the course, and then we got reimbursed by Harley. I could be mistaken. It could be outdated kind of deal. Get your license, turn around, drop it off at the fucking DMV, and you know, get that endorsement. Be legit. I will say it was pretty cool over there. You know, I got to do it over there in Paris, California, and I mean, it wasn't too ridiculous or anything like that. It was just pretty basic, enjoyable. Took a couple of days off of work. Actually, I didn't. I don't think I did, but I don't remember. Even then, I think I would have played hooky. Then I would have. But yeah. So rode my motorcycle out there into Washington, you know, for a year. Put about a 5,500 miles, some of that on the 48, and a lot of freeway, a lot of you know, city here and there and stuff like that. But I think the biggest stretch was actually something my wife and I did. We rode out to Portland, and I think at the time she had a Honda Rebel, so it wasn't too ridiculous, you know. It's for her, but for me, I mean, I was filling up like 70 miles, 75 miles, you know, shit like that. And yeah, it wasn't fun. I think that's when it really kicked me in the ass, and I was kind of like, you know what? Yeah, I can't do this shit. I gotta get something bigger, something more comfortable. Highway pegs, fucking gold right there. But yeah, just had to do it. Pull the trigger. Ever since then, I'm in love. You know, there's a couple guys out there on YouTube that have this bad boy still, but you know, I think it's just one of those things that if you can get it and you can do it, do it. But at the same time, you know, it's just you know, it's what you're comfortable with. It's what you can afford. You know, don't go out there and fucking stick yourself with a fucking bill, you know, and then hate yourself after that shit. Because it's not about that. But if you can afford to save up, you know, do it the right way. It's always nice to, you know, fork over the money and get the product, and then that's it. I will say, you know, I hate paying for shit on a monthly basis, but if that's the only way, that's the only way. Another thing I gotta say is that oh, that was a nice little bump. A lot of uneven ground here. Well, anyways, I will say that about, you know, financing and stuff like that. If you're able to finance it, do it. You know, affordability is everything and stuff like that. Don't stretch yourself thin, you know, kind of deal. Let's see, where am I? I don't want to go for it. Boom, 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 boom. A little lost. We'll figure it out. But yeah. Let's see. Oh no! Oops. That was actually really weird. So, funny story because of that shit. I'm going into work. I'm driving through Bellevue and stuff. This is in Washington, FYI. But I'm about, let's see, maybe about a mile away from work. I'm riding, and you know, I feel a loss in power on the bike. It totally tripped me out. I was kind of like, what the heck? You know, kind of caught me off guard, definitely too. But felt it on the freeway. You know, luckily I was getting close to work, so I was pulling out, exited, hit a couple lights, no issues. But I noticed that I got to another light, and you know, it's just kind of interesting because yeah, what's up? Train of thought, it's gone out the window. But I noticed it too, that it bugged out, and it actually flashed my engine light. And you know, I don't know, sometimes you get a little pucker in the butt and you're just kind of like, oh, that ain't right. So of course, you know, you're hoping and praying and wishing that nothing's wrong with the bike, and all of a sudden it cuts out and it dies on you. And totally like confused, you know, obviously, fuck, the bike probably had about 6,000-7,000 miles on it already. And I'm just like, well, what the hell happened, you know? So I started troubleshooting, and you know, realized that the switch wouldn't turn the bike on, and realized it wasn't you know, sending power essentially. So of course, you know, a little bit of troubleshooting here and there, and you're just kind of like, all right, well, it sounds like the battery just took a shit, you know? Well, let me stop you there before you all start pointing out that, oh, duh, it's the battery, you know? I just swapped out the battery. So of course I'm thinking like, oh shit, worst case scenario, my battery just took a shit. But I was also thinking that, okay, it can't be the battery. It totally can't be, you know? So I took the battery cover off. I had taken off the battery cover maybe, you know, 3 or 4 times before, because it was just like a nice little light cleaning session and stuff like that, you know, just kind of to see what I was working with underneath and shit too. But you know, I took the battery cover off and started looking at everything and making sure that the connecting points and stuff like that were all mounted correctly and stuff like that. So I started taking off the negative, and you know, I heard a little spark, and I was like, oh shit. Well, of course, throw the engine start switch back on, and actually kind of gave me some power, and I was like, oh, nice. But of course, as soon as I try to, you know, turn the bike over, it would actually bog out and then blackout. You know, no lights or anything like that. You know, I'm over here kind of confused as hell, like what the hell is going on? But you know, I realized that too, that it had to have been something pretty, not simple, but it had to have been something kind of stupid, you know. So of course, let's see, I'm just bogging around, you know, I'm just trying to stay out of traffic and shit here, but you know, I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of like, well, fuck me, you know, like, just bought a battery, it's just not fucking working and stuff like that. Well, the connecting negative terminal was actually sparked out, and you know, I was thinking too, like, what the fuck was that about, you know, just like, why would it do that? Well, the fucking battery cover is actually somehow, some way, just fucking all up on the fucking negative terminal, and it shorted out. I think I can cut through here too. So you know, looked at the box of the battery cover, and it was, you know, chipped away down to the bare metal, made contact, fucking shorted out the bike. And I had to say, thank goodness it shorted out the bike and it just didn't keep running, because it probably would have melted a fucking hole in my fucking ass cheek, you know. And that was something else that I noticed too, is that my seat is actually a little low, and I'm actually sitting on top of the battery box, which doesn't sound good at all. So it turns out, you know, battery cover shorted out the fucking bike. You know, I had to take that off, and luckily I had a couple extra screws for the negative terminal, so swapped it out. The fucking screw itself was all burnt to shit, and it wasn't making a good contact, so I had to swap it out. And as soon as I did that, bike was fine. You know, turned it back on. I actually even pulled the bike over into the sidewalk and stuff like that, and just kind of got out the way and shit. So, but it's kind of nice, you know. I was able to just kind of dick around with it real quick, figure out the issue, and then you know, I had to kind of find a little corrective action plan for that bad boy, because yeah, it shouldn't be touching the battery cover. So California rolling stop. Dodging manholes, just going around. But yeah, I think I can go back this way too. So yeah, I fixed that shit, and you know, haven't had an issue as of yet. I put a little bit of padding and shit like that, but I don't know if anyone else out there had the same issue I did. You know, it had to have been I don't want to say an install error and shit, but of course it was an accessory that was fucking with my battery cover, and I have a Lucky Dave seat and stuff like that. You know, I would say that it's not their fault, but it might be more of a design flaw, or maybe it's just my fat ass, I don't know. But yeah, so other than that, bike's been good. Fucking enjoying the weather, chilling, you know, just cruising. I don't mind that pink bag and shit. You know, I'm sure a lot of people are probably wondering what the fuck that is and stuff, but it ain't nothing. Anywho, I am about to jump back on the freeway. Y'all have a fucking good one. I don't know how this shit's gonna turn out. Hopefully the audio is good and stuff too, but if it is, I will be coming back, and I will be making some more of these videos, you know. Try to do some destination shit, you know, and just kind of put the miles on the bike and stuff like that. So yeah, other than that, y'all stay tuned, y'all enjoy, ride safe. What up, brother? And y'all stay good. Peace.